Oh, it's just getting worse. Absolutely destroying me. I feel great, like depressed now. It's like 750 pages long.
Assistant to the villain.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another reading vlog. Today we are doing another 24-hour readathon and this is actually attempt number 2 of filming this. Many of you already know the story, know what happened, but I did film an entire 24-hour readathon. It didn't go well. I started it at like 9 p.m. on a Saturday and it ended up getting carried over into like an extra day than usual, and then I finished it at like 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. And yeah, it wasn't good. But that's not why it was a fail or didn't make it to the internet. It was essentially because there was no audio on any of the files and the footage was corrupted. So when I went to edit it, I couldn't actually use any of the footage, unfortunately. So we are attempting round 2. It is another weekend. I'm starting this 24-hour readathon a lot earlier because I would like to finish it on Saturday and Sunday on the weekend. So yeah, so it is another weekend. I've woken up early. We're gonna start this readathon at a decent time and the plan is to finish it on Sunday night. So it's currently Saturday morning. I have made myself a coffee. We're probably gonna have a few caffeinated beverages to get through this. The last readathon I filmed, the aim was to get through as much of my physical TBR as possible, and we have. So when we picked my TBR for January, we picked 6 books. And out of those 6 books, I only have 2 left. The only book on my physical TBR that I have to read for the month of January is City of Gods and Monsters. And I would like to start that today or tomorrow or in this readathon. But I might save it as the last book because it is a big book. So we'll see how we go with that. But I do have some other options of what we can mood read. The TBR for this readathon is not set. It's sort of just whatever I feel like, because I've pretty much done a really good job of smashing out as much of my January TBR, which is great, but very annoying that half those books weren't shared. So let's talk about some of the books that we have on the TBR for this video. Now, I read Bride of the Shadow King in my 24-hour readathon that will never see the light of day, and I have the trilogy. So Vow of the Shadow King book 2, I really wanted to read that. Bride of the Shadow King, I think I gave like 3.75 stars. It was fun to read, but I actually think I enjoyed it more after finishing it. Like, I kept thinking about the ending and where it's gonna go. I'm not like super invested in the characters, so I don't think that this will be like a 5-star favorite series, but I am enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. I also just think the covers are so pretty. This book is under 500 pages, so 450, and it's printed at a good size, so this could be a good option to read in the readathon. We also have A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. This is the 4th book in the Amber Quartet and I still haven't finished it, guys. So it would be good if we could finish this and also complete the series. Then for Kindle, I have quite a few books on my Kindle. We have Funny Story by Emily Henry. Do we have any others? We've got The First Prince and the Last Heir, which is book 2. Book 1 is The Mad King and the False Queen. That's a little YA fantasy romance series. I have a novel love story, though I don't think I'm in the mood for that. Oh, we could also read a book in the Windy City, so I've got Caught Up to read. Let's check the Libby app to see if there are any audiobooks, because I do think I want to start off this readathon by listening to an audiobook. I have said that like 2025 I want to get into audiobooks, mainly because I want to be able to have time for all of my hobbies that I love, and one of them is illustrating and drawing and sketching, and I feel in the mood to sketch and draw today. So I thought, why not start the readathon and then we can do a couple hours of sketching and drawing. And I've just had a look on Libby. I go through my Libby like once a month and then I will see like what new books there are or if there's anything that I want to read. I always check before buying a book if it's available at my local library, and I've clicked available now. They have Assistant to the Villain, but Assistant to the Villain is only 14 hours, so on 7 hours if I'm times 2, right? But I would probably do maybe 4 or 5 hours listening to it, or maybe we'll listen to the whole audiobook, I don't know. But I have the physical copy of Assistant to the Villain on my physical TBR, so maybe we add this one because that seems like a quick book that I can get through. It's under 400 pages. I'm pretty sure this is more of like a comedy, not cozy fantasy, but not like high stakes intense action. There's a lot of funny tropes and banter and a little bit cheesy, but more of like a light-hearted romance story set in a fantasy fantasy world. So maybe we'll pick this up and add that to the TBR. So this is the TBR, it looks quite small, but I would like to read 4 books. That would be a good amount to read, especially if we're listening to one in audio. And I also think I'm going to change it up by reading in different areas of my house. Usually I'll just sit on the couch, but another bookish goal that I had for 2025 is to make more use of this library reading room. One thing that I wanted to change in here was making it comfier for reading. We do need to get a new reading chair, but I do have a new addition to my reading room that I want to tell you about. So you may have noticed something new in the background there. I've got a new reading light. It is a Serious Light's high definition reading light. It's a floor light, but it is not like any other floor lamp out there. It is specifically designed for reading. And Serious Light's actually sent me this yesterday. I just unboxed it last night, and I'm so excited to use it later today when the sun's gone down a bit so we can actually properly test it out together. I use a lot of screens in my day-to-day, and I have been using my Kindle a lot more than usual lately. Talked about it a lot in December. Reading for long periods of time and as much as I do can be uncomfortable physically with like posture and how I'm sitting, but also straining on my eyes. So I wear my glasses when I'm reading when I can, but I want to get back to reading my paperbacks and be a bit more comfortable while I'm reading. So I think investing in a good reading light if you're an avid reader is a must. Serious Lights use daylight wavelength technology, which replicates daylight as closely as possible, and you can tell straight away when you turn it on. It's amazing. I can't even explain the clarity that you experience when you turn on the light. It's something that the camera just doesn't do justice, but when you have it in real life, you get it. It's got an adjustable beam width, a dimmer, a handle, so you can easily move it to whatever comfortable position that you need, or if you're like me and you like to wiggle around quite a lot, super easy to adjust. They're a UK manufacturer. They are all hand built here in the UK, and they also do ship worldwide. So if you want one and you don't live in the UK, you can still get one. And the best part about it is the Serious Light range consists of multiple different lights that are customizable. There's the high definition light, the Alex light, and the classic light, and all 3 of them feature that daylight wavelength technology, and you also get a 5-year warranty. You will be seeing me using this a lot in the foreseeable. I think when you're doing something as much as I do, you may as well make it as comfortable for yourself as possible. And I think when you're investing in yourself and your hobbies, when it comes to comfortability, it's absolutely priceless. If you want to check out Serious Lights yourself, you can use my code Emmy. There's also a link in the description down below, but it will give you £150 off the high definition lights and also free UK delivery. So thank you so much, Serious Lights, for sending me this light. I can't wait for us to do some reading in this vlog and try it out together so you guys can see. And I think it is time to start the readathon. We always start our readathons by yapping, but I think we're gonna start with the audiobook, do some illustrating and drawing, chill in the living room, and then when it starts to get a bit darker, maybe start a physical book in here. Okay everyone, are you ready? I still have the timer on my phone from last weekend, but here we go. Ready? The 24 hours has begun. Okay, let's play this audiobook.
Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Assistant to the Villain.
So I'm 20% of the way through. We are at 22 hours and 28 minutes on the clock. We are 10 chapters into the audiobook, and I have spent the last almost 2 hours cleaning the house because it's a Saturday today. So I did like the hoovering, I've done like 2 loads of laundry, done the dishes. I honestly just said, oh, I'll just get up quickly and put some laundry on, and then I ended up like changing the bedding and doing everything. Basically everything that I did in my like last Sunday video, that's just what I did now. And we've gotten a big chunk of the way through the book, and I actually feel very productive because typically when I do a 24-hour readathon, I'd have to wake up like 2 hours earlier, do those things before I start filming, but I'm like, I've got this audiobook on, and I just walk around and do it, and I feel great. Is this why you guys listen to audiobooks? But now I am gonna sit on my iPad and do some illustrating and sketching and drawing, and maybe we'll just end up listening to the whole thing in audio. I don't know, who knows? So that is around 70 pages in the physical book compared to the audio. If I had been reading this whole time, I'd probably be 200 pages in. So yeah, my reading speed is over double than what the listening speed is, but I'm having a really fun time with this story. It's about our main female character who ends up getting a job working for the villain in this world. It's a magical world. There's different magical beasts and ogres and dragons and stuff. The villain has like a little sidekick character who's a frog who holds a sign. He can only say one word at a time, but he writes on the sign, Kingsley, this little guy here. It's definitely a romantasy because we've got like a grumpy sunshine going on between our main female character and the villain is very grumpy, and obviously a villain who kills people, but he actually is morally grey, you know, because it's more for like vengeance and revenge rather than going out of his way to harm people. He only really harms people who harm him. So very interesting, but he's also young and apparently very sexy. And our main female character thinks about him a lot. She thinks he's very attractive, but she's like a word vomit type of Rainbow and Sunshines, doesn't keep secrets, just shares all her thoughts and makes everyone smile and laugh. And the villain is experiencing happy feelings for the first time and he doesn't like that. So he really likes her, but he doesn't want to. So it's really interesting because we get chapters from both the villain and our main female character, hearing their own, you know, point of views. But so far I'm actually pleasantly really enjoying this. I think it's a fun little read. I think it would make a good like palate cleanser read in between like bigger fantasy series, or if you just want like a romance that's set in a fantasy world or something that's a bit more light-hearted, then this is a really fun option. I'm having a really fun time with it. And we have this mystery subplot going on where they're trying to figure out who a mole is in the villain's lair. There's a lot of different things going on in the background. We have our main female character and why she needs this job and her background with her family and the world, and then we've got the villain trying to figure out things, and we have the two characters trying to figure out feelings for each other. Right now they're just pretending they don't really like each other, and then we have this mystery going on with sabotage, and yeah, lots of things going on. Kipper, are you alright there? Anyways, I'm gonna continue listening and drawing and reading. So it is 4 p.m. The sun is usually already pitch black by now, so it's nice to see that it's not. But I have paused the timer. We're taking a little break because my camera died and then my phone died. Well, my phone was on 1%, so I paused the timer just in case that died because I didn't want to lose it. So we have 19 hours and 50 minutes left on the clock. We're on chapter 32. We are 60% of the way through the book, and honestly, I think I might just listen to the rest of it because it's going by pretty fast. It has been a really fun read. I have the physical copy of the book, but it's been fun to listen to. So maybe I just like listened to all of the series in audio. I don't know. I'm very much enjoying the narrator and it's been easy enough to listen to and follow along, but also the plot's really interesting. Like, I'm having a fun time while listening to it. It's quite comedic and just like light-hearted. I think it's a good one to listen to for me in audio because there's not too many details or things going on that I need to give 110% of my concentration. I can, you know, multitask while listening to it. So I've made myself a second coffee. We still have like 7-8 hours of reading to do today. I've been illustrating. I'm having so much fun. I forgot how fun it was. 2025 is a year where I just want to prioritize making more time for the things that I love and want to do, and last year that was reading, and I still want to read. So being able to combine two of my hobbies and interests is very exciting, but all I want to do is like draw. This is the one thing with me, is like once I start illustrating, I want to see it through. I don't like to put it down until I've like completed work. I'm very impatient, and it's not a great skill when you need patience and hours to draw and illustrate. But I have made a little illustration account on Instagram. I have been drawing some fourth wing artwork, so I will show you guys what I've done so far. Yeah, I'm gonna continue drawing. I'd like to get it finished today. So if I can spend the remaining 40% of the time that we have with the audiobook of this, then maybe I can get it done. Maybe I'll set that as a goal for myself, and then we can put the iPad down and I can move on to a different illustration another time. This one I've picked up and put down a few times now, but I kind of actually really like it for once. Being a creative and someone who does a lot of like arty stuff, like even like content and that, I'm such a perfectionist. I need to stop, because with these types of hobbies and interests, there's no right or wrong way to do things, but you are constantly learning. I can continuously perfect work over and over and over again, but at some point you gotta like stop and go, nope, it's done, let's move on to something else. So I have a very bad habit of doing way too much with my work and also staring at it to the point where I hate it. So it's nice to like do something that I'm enjoying and feel a bit more proud of. I don't really like showing other people my work unless I think it's decent. Anyways, I'm having fun. I'm just thinking now of all the possibilities of book scenes and fan art and stuff I can create myself. So that's what we'll do. So many books I'm like, I'd just rather physically read, but this one I'm pleasantly surprised. So that was really fun. All right, let's continue. I swear every time I wear a claw clip in a video, I look bald from the front. From the side it's cute, but anything to get my hair up off my face. I'm in desperate need of a haircut and I'm getting one soon before I go to New York, but it's just like at such like an awkward length right now that it's thick and heavy and uncomfortable to have down, but also just like I hate having it up. Anyways, that's so not important. We finished book 1 and I finished my illustration. So there we go, little sneaky peek. Book 1, I ended up listening to the entire thing in audio, which was unexpected. And I kind of want to listen to book number 2 straight away, but I think I'll save it, see if I can get an audiobook of that and save that for another day. But we read book 1 in 7 hours, 10 minutes and 19 seconds. Well, we listened to book 1 in 7 hours. So definitely the longest it's taken me to get through a book in one of these challenges ever. But I had probably some of the most fun that I've ever had while doing it. So that's great. But now I'm ready to jump into another book. So we're gonna do some reading in my reading room now that we can sit and physically read. And I think I'm going to jump into book number 2, Vow of the Shadow King. And I would like to try and read as much of this as possible. I honestly want to try and finish this and read it in a single sitting. So we will go into my little reading room and read with my new Serious Lights reading lamp, yeah, and do a bit of reading there, and then once it gets a bit later maybe finish the book in bed. But this one is printed quite large, so it feels good to get through. But what did I think of this book? Honestly, I feel like it's a 3.5 star read, but because I had so much fun with it, I want to give it 4 stars. So I'm unsure, so maybe we'll just settle with 3.75. This was surprisingly fun. I don't think it's anything serious. I think if you're going in and expecting like an amazing life-changing read, probably not it, but if you just want like a fun, giggly time, I actually enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. Very entertaining. And it did end on like a cliffhanger, so I do want to read book 2, so I may pick that up sooner rather than later because I also have a physical copy of that, so I might read that one. Yeah, this was a good way to start off the reading challenge and to get a book off my physical TBR. It wasn't on my January TBR, but on my actual physical TBR, which is amazing because we're getting through books, so we'll do that. Oh, I could read City of Gods and Monsters, but that's a big book. No, I think we'll read Vow of the Shadow King. We already read Bride of the Shadow King. So we're going from one purplish book to another. That's the plan, yeah. Bride of the Shadow King was about a human princess, and she was one of 3 princesses. She was the eldest, and she was supposed to be married off as the eldest, but a situation happened and she struggles with this condition. She's not like her other sisters. She's a bit different. She's not like a normal girl's her age and is a bit more quiet and reserved and likes to hide in the background. She didn't want to be married off, so she's sort of been sent off to this like ministry to be a nun or something like that. I don't really know the actual terminology of what it was. To create an alliance between the Fae realm and the human realm, a marriage has been arranged between the Shadow King and her sister, and her sister is refusing to speak to anyone. She's refusing to leave her room, and the Shadow King is on his way, so they send our main female character to come and help her sister get her ready to marry the Shadow King. But the Shadow King and the main female character run into each other and have a bit of a connection, and he's like, nope, I'm marrying her sister, I'm gonna focus on her sister. Female character's like, yep, he's gonna marry my sister, we can't, but they have like a friendship going. The plot sort of develops from there. It did end on a bit of a cliffhanger, and the last like 50 pages of the book kind of went a little bit crazy and unexpected. Like I felt like the first part of the book leading up to it was quite predictable for that type of plot, but like the ending I was like, oh, did not see that happening. And now the whole time I was reading book 1 I was like, what is the overall plot gonna be for this trilogy? Like what, other than this whole marriage of convenience and human to Fae, where I'm like, what is happening? What's the bigger story? And we got that. So now I'm like, okay, interested to see how it plays out, but I have heard that book 2 does give middle book syndrome, so I don't know how interesting it is going to be or what's actually going to happen, but I've heard that book 2 could have just been cut out and it could have been a duology. And honestly, reading it, yeah, I think it probably could have been a duology. Just reading book 1 alone, I don't know how we're gonna have 2 more books of plot, but I guess we'll read it and find out. So let's start book 2, Vow of the Shadow King. Hello everyone, so we finished Vow of the Shadow King and that took, I wrote it down, I found a timer calculator so I can actually calculate these properly, but book 2 was 4 hours 9 minutes and 47 seconds, so we have just over 12.5 hours left, so basically halfway there. Alright, so we got 2 books done. That's not too bad. I'd like to read another at least 2. If we can do 4 to 5 books in this readathon, then pretty good to me. Honestly, what I thought going into this is exactly what I thought. Like, nothing was really happening. Not much. There's a lot of like back and forth, but not too much happened. I didn't mind it though, very easy to read. I'm interested to see how the 3rd and final book goes, but I'm not going to jump straight into that. Just because I'm not really in the mood for it. And you know what I am in the mood for? A different purple book. This is just 24 hours of reading purple books apparently. But Vow of the Shadow King I'm going to give 3 stars. 2 because I enjoyed it. Fun enough read, but nothing special, nothing too much that happened. Kind of giving middle book syndrome. Still, I like the trilogy more than I thought I would, so don't know when I'm going to finish the trilogy, probably in this next month. But I'm ready to read A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sava Tahir. We're going to complete a series. This is part of the Ember Quartet. Book 1 follows our main character, our main male character and main female character. Our main female character is a slave and then the main male character is a soldier. There's like a lot of unrest and an underground rebellion going on in this world, and our main female character is trying to stay out of it, but when her brother gets captured, she ends up going undercover and tries to team up with this soldier who will help train her so that she can rescue her brother. That's sort of where book 1 starts, and then the series progresses. So this is book 4, but it's inspired by ancient Rome, but there's a lot of Jinn lore in this. I really enjoy the world and the characters. We've gotten additional character chapter point of view, and I know this is going to be a big book, so this is 500 pages, but it is printed a lot smaller than the last book I read, so I don't think it'll take me 4 hours. I think it'll probably take me like 6 hours to read this one. But it is also available on the audiobook and it's on Spotify as well, so if I need to make food or run some errands and stuff today, I've got the audiobook that I can flip between, so that way we can get these 12 hours done, because we're gonna get them done today. We will be finished. I think book number 2 in the series was my favorite so far. Everyone's favorite I think is book 3. Book 3 has some like crazy plot reveals, but book 2 and the ending of book 2, nothing will beat the reveal for that for me. I was freaking out. So there's a lot that needs to happen and a lot that I don't know where it could possibly go, so I'm very excited to see. But I love the way that Saba Tahir writes her stories, because the ending of every chapter sort of is left on a mini cliffhanger itself, so you want to continue reading and figuring out what's happening. And also her newest released Air is set in the same world but 20 to 30 years after I think the events of this take place, like it's in the future. So I have a physical copy of that book and I really want to read it, but I haven't been able to because I haven't finished this quartet yet. So we're going to finish the series, we're going to read this book, and we're going to see if the series is still god tier for me. I think it will be. I'm expecting at least a 4 stars with this book. Could be a 5 potentially, but I don't know, we'll see. So let's just continue reading. We're coming up to part 3 and there is so much happening in this book. It is just ramping up. There's like a TikTok audio and it's all I can think of while reading this. It's this one. Oh yes, they both reach for. Let me hear it. Oh yes, they both reach for the gun, for the gun. Like jumping back and forth between each character's chapter point of view and all the little subplots that are happening to tie into like the overall plot. It's just with each chapter getting faster and faster and more and more and more, and something big is gonna happen. I can't believe it's the last book. There's so much in this, but I do think this is one of the best YA fantasy book series I have ever read in my life. But I'm just gonna continue reading. We've got 9 hours left to go. I got to 20% of the way through and then I listened to 2 or 3 chapters so I could like feed Cooper and walk her and take her outside and stuff and have a shower. But we are back to reading. This was like a big book for me to pick up because compared to like the other books that I will read in a 24-hour readathon, it's a lot because it's fantasy. It's not like fantasy romance or something a bit lighter. So I think when I finish this, maybe we will read one of the Windy City books on my Kindle. I feel like I just need something like light-hearted and easy to binge after this because this, you need like full concentration for this, but it's also like the build up and the anticipation to finishing a big book series that you've been reading for a while and knowing that once you finish this, that's the end of the story and it's gonna be epic. But I'm really loving it, so we're just gonna continue reading. So this book is absolutely destroying me. The book is war. A war is happening, so it is going to be sad and intense and tough, but my goodness. It is killing me. I have less than 100 pages to go. We got just under 8 hours left. We're 7 and a bit hours in. This is going to be a long night. I will be staying up tonight because I'm trying to decide if I just go into a big book next or 2 small ones. I don't know what I'm in the mood for anymore. I thought I would want something light, but now I'm like, do I just throw myself into something big? I don't know, we'll figure that out. But anyways, less than 100 pages to go. Less than 100 pages to go. I don't feel good about it, guys, I can't lie. I am not feeling great about where this is going. I keep thinking it can't get worse, and then it does. Really, who knows? Anything can happen. But I'm ready to finish it. I can't believe I'm gonna be finished and then the story will be over. What do you mean? Oh my god, part 6 is like 60 pages away. Let's sit and finish the book. I really do need to get a new reading chair for in here because this is such an elite setup. This is more comfortable to read than in the living room. I just need a different chair. But like this light, the ambience, the bookshelf, the decor, I can just feel at home in my home. Let's get to reading. What if we widen it? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Don't want it too bright. Turn it down a bit. Right. Oh no. Oh no. No. Oh, I actually feel like I could cry. Oh my god. No. Oh, it's just getting worse. Hold up. Wait, there's like a whole reunion going on right now. What is happening? No, that's actually really upset me. You got there first, my love. I envy you so, for how will I endure without you? I might actually cry. I need a minute. I think it has to be 5 stars because, oh god, I'm gonna think about that forever. Jeez. I actually feel numb. I feel so numb. 5 hours, 22 minutes and 43 seconds and we're gonna go 5 stars. I'm speechless. Oh, I'm so happy but also so angry. That was such a realistic way to end the book and the story. Oh, this really hurts. I need to look up the blurb for air because I have no idea. I've avoided that knowing that it's connected. Oh no, I'm actually not okay. What am I supposed to read after that? How am I supposed to read for another 7 hours, 17 minutes and 11 seconds? Cut the cameras, honestly. Okay, let's pick another book. The hood is staying up because I am depressed now. I actually can't believe the series is done. This is why I put off reading the last book for so long, because I knew it would hurt my feelings.
5 minutes later.
Everybody moved on, and I'm still here mourning this book. Wow, I'm so dramatic. Let's put it on the shelf. I need bigger shelves. What do we want to read? Everything on the shelf I have read. Where's Air? This is the next book by Saba, and I have it signed. How many pages is this one? 500 pages again. I mean, I could literally just go and read Air. Do I read Air now? This is gonna hurt my feelings even more. Oh my god, we have 3 characters again. Oh, this is gonna be so reminiscent. Sabatier masterfully interweaves the lives of 3 young people as they grapple with the burdens of power, love, and unchecked greed. Get ready for a dark and breathless journey that may cost these young people their lives and their hearts, literally. Oh, this edition is beautiful. Guys, I don't know what I want to read. We're wasting time here. Because if I just go and pick up an Elsie Silver book now, I feel like it's not gonna compare. Well, I mean, we can read an Elsie Silver book anyways, because we're gonna have probably enough time. This is 500 pages and we've got 7 hours, but this is in hardcover, so it's printed bigger. I will read that in less than 7 hours and then we'll have time. Maybe I can read Elsie Silver after, but I do have The Windy City. I need to tick it off in my continuing book series that I'm in the middle of list. What's on my January TBR that I need to read? It's just City of Gods and Monsters, but also Arena Kent, Throne of Power. I don't know what I want to read. I need a minute. I need to ask someone else for their opinion because I can't make a decision for myself. The struggle is I really want to read this book, the House of Devils book, but it's like 750 pages long. It will probably take me more than the 7 hours to read it, just over, like, maybe, but I want to like take my time and enjoy it. But I could just read this. We have 7 hours left and we got 700 pages. Can I finish this book in the 7 hours? That means we only read 4 books in this video then. Do I really care though? No. It's the least amount of reading I've done. Well, I mean, I listened to an audiobook. That's what made it so long. 4 books in 24 hours is pretty good, right? Am I gaslighting myself? We'll save air. We'll hopefully be able to put this on a TBR pick. Maybe for February I might choose it to read. Maybe we'll start the physical thing, read a bit of that until my eyes get a bit tired and then switch over to Kindle. Fuck it, let's just read this. Book number 4 on the 24-hour readathon is City of Gods and Monsters. And the timer has 7 hours, 17 minutes and 11 seconds. Let's start reading. I filled up my water with a lot of ice because I'm really thirsty. I always get the thirstiest at night time. Anyways, 4th and final book in this readathon. We're about to start. Let's go. 7-hour timer has begun. The first line in the book is, if you so much as look at her again, I will break all 4 of your legs, pup. I kind of love that. Kind of like obsessed with the fact that they're police officers and they're sort of called peace officers. There's something about urban fantasy books and the way that authors use like certain words because they're like modern, you know, there's technology and advancements that are similar to the present day, but they try to make it so it's like completely fantasy and different, and sometimes it's quite like borderline cringe, but it's also funny. Like, fair enough. 1 hour down, over 100 pages in, we're 15% of the way through the book and I've just swapped from the paperback to the Kindle. I've turned off the reading light because I think I'm gonna read in bed for a little bit. Cami is asleep in bed though, and it is coming into the early hours of the morning, so I'll probably read for another like 3 hours or so on the Kindle. Maybe take a little bit of a nap and then finish the remaining hours in the early hours of the morning. But I can't stop giggling. I sent the girls a text saying like, this is me, I can't stop like smiling, and they said remember this moment because you will cry. So I don't know what I'm in for, but it's really, really fun. I'm having so much fun with this. This was such a good choice, but I think I'm gonna fly through a bit faster now that we've swapped from paperback to Kindle, because Kindle reading is just typically faster, but I don't know, I'm enjoying myself. I don't know, I'm having so much fun. So I'm gonna continue the reading in bed and then we'll check in a few hours time. Just a lot of world building and introducing yourselves to characters and things that are happening, but I'm having so much fun. Very excited. So next morning, I fell asleep when we had 45 minutes left on the clock. Only 45 minutes. You think that I would have been able to push through for 45 minutes, but here's the thing. We got to page 611, chapter 51. Oh wow, it's the exact same on the Kindle as it is physically. So I have all of this to read left, and I'm 84% of the way through. So we basically have like 120 pages to read, which should take me like an hour and a bit. So I think I'll go over the 45 minutes by like 15 to 20 minutes, but I thought there's no point just reading for another 45 minutes, staying up for that and then calling it a day when I can just go to sleep, wake up and then just finish the last 45 minutes together. But I'll just finish the book. I actually can't believe that we'll be finishing the book. I just binged it in bed. I couldn't help it. It was so freaking good. I don't know. I'd heard mixed things. The only people that I'd heard like loving it and raving about it were Mariana and Bailey, but I'm obsessed with it. I know some people have said it's like really similar to Crescent City, and I can see areas where it is similar, but I also don't think it's that similar. Like, it's definitely an urban fantasy. I would say if you like the Book of Azrael, if you like Crescent City, if you like the Zodiac Academy, you'll probably like this. Like, it has similar vibes. There's werewolves, there's vampires, there's so many different types of magical creatures, there's humans, there's powers in an urban world. There are some points where there's different groups of characters and people of different regions and areas coming together to sort of team up, and this mystery going on where I can see why people say it's similar to Crescent City, but for me, I could like separate them completely. Like, they're giving me two different stories. Like, our main female character is mortal. I know a lot of people don't like a mortal main female character who's sort of powerless, and then like a powerful main male character, but the main male character is also in his early 20s. Like, they're very similar in age. She's 21 and I think he's like somewhere between 23 and 25, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I think he's 23. So they're really quite similar in age, but there's some things in it that are predictable based on just the genre overall and, you know, where the story kind of is going, but other parts that have caught me so off guard. I'm thinking this could be a god tier series depending on where it goes, and I have no idea where books 2 and 3 could go, because I feel like we're gonna have a bit of a plot twist cliffhanger at the end of this one, but I don't know. The possibilities are endless. We have so many characters and I don't know who to trust or who I should or shouldn't like right now. There is so much happening. There's a lot I want to say, but it would also be spoilers. But Darian Castle making top 10. I've highlighted so much that he says he is low-key a romantic. You having a little growl at me because you want some attention. But anyways, I'm going to set the timer. We're going to finish the last 45 minutes of this readathon and then finish the book as well. I'm going to just keep reading it on my Kindle for convenience. Kindle's a bit faster, so sit in the chair, do some reading, and then finish this vlog finally. Things are happening, and things are happening very quickly. Like, things that I thought would maybe happen in later books are already happening now, so I don't really know what is going on. Interesting. We got 14 minutes left on the timer. The timer is about to go off in the worst possible place because, oh, I'm actually gonna be sick. What? Huh? 24 hours is up and we have like 15 pages left. Let's just keep reading. Jeez. Wait, what? That's it? It's done? What? Was not expecting that. Wow. I honestly don't know what to rate it. I don't know if it's 4.5, 4.75 or 5 stars. Maybe 4.75. I think it could be a 5-star series though. That was really, 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 really fun. I really enjoyed that. Didn't see that coming. That's very interesting. I feel like if you like adult, dark, urban fantasy, then you'll like it. I think I could potentially like this series more than Crescent City. And I'm very excited. All the books in the series are huge as well, so you just know you're gonna have entertainment for a while. So I definitely think I'm gonna continue the series like as soon as possible, but I do have some other books that I want to read, and I've got one more book on my TBR this month that I need to finish, and then there's more books that I've got the last book I have left to read, so we'll finish them up and then continue on with this series, I think. So that was very exciting. Good. What a wild 24 hours of reading. I feel like I felt every single emotion under the sun, but that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you've stayed all the way to the end, comment below a little moon emoji. And if you have read any of these books, I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. January has honestly been such a good reading month. Like, we are reading so many good books. I feel so productive as well, finishing up so many series that we're in the middle of. We're really just like flying through things. So I hope that how we start the year is how we mean to go on, and it just continues to go. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.